Wonder Woman issue 2 with Greg Rucka and Nicholas Scott. This is the first part of the year 1 arc, because Wonder Woman, of course, is alternating between two stories, a present day story and a year 1 story, both by Rucka, different artists. And this was good.
Yeah.
Really strong. I didn't like it as much as issue 1, and it's not that anything's bad, it's just that it's kind of, alright, well, I've seen versions of this before, and because it's just the first issue, and it ends with, Steve landing on Themyscira,
Hmm.
it's good storytelling, but nothing new or really, exciting.
See, I like the subtle stuff that Rucka brought to the origin. That's a little bit new, but also melding all the different versions
Hmm.
of it. And I love the it kept cutting back and forth between Diana and Steve.
Oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong. The storytelling
Yeah,
here is great, and the way it cuts between them is really good
yeah,
because it sets them both up equally as it goes throughout.
yeah,
And by the time Steve lands on the planet, you feel really bad for him because it introduces to his friend that he's the godfather of his son, and the
yeah,
storytelling is great. Like, don't get me wrong, this is a good book, and I'm really looking forward to the rest of this year 1.
yeah,
It's just not as exciting, I guess, as
yeah.
issue 1 or
It's
whatever's going to
a,
come next.
yeah. I like this more than the last issue one because, for all intents and purposes, it's a different series with
Mm.
the way that Rucka's going about it with a different artist, and so I like the subtleties he brought to her origin and how she questions everything, and just to kind of see the compared to the Wonder Woman we saw last time, going to Cheetah for help. It's the
Um,
same character.
I think I liked the other story more, mostly just because there's more sense of mystery. Like, who's she looking
Yeah,
for? Who is it? Oh shit, it's Cheetah.
right.
Like, oh, what's going to happen next time? Like, whereas with this one, because it is a year 1, and because I know the basic, structure of the story. I know the
Hmm.
bullet points are going to be going throughout. And but it's good. No, it's great. We mentioned the flipping between the two stories with Diana and Stephen. I want to talk about uh, on the double page spread that it's flipping between them quite consistently. It's
Yeah,
after the whole shooting scene where one of them's shooting an arrow, the other one's shooting the gun and
yeah.
all that.
Sorry,
There's
range.
there's a panel of Diana naked coming out of a pool,
Uh huh.
and some of the other Amazonians say some stuff, and I want to just mention this because it's something that probably was always a thing, but they never really were allowed to write it.
Hmm. Yeah,
But the other Amazonians mentioned that Diana's been sleeping with different other Amazonians
yeah.
on the island, which I don't think at least I honestly have not read that much Wonder Woman, but I don't recall it ever being
Like I
explicitly
think
said.
they hinted at it, but not didn't come out and say it. I mean, the whole Grant Morrison's Earth One Wonder Woman.
Mm,
That's a whole major aspect of it. Because she has a full on relationship with another, girl that she's grown up with, and they're kind of partnered up for life in that
yeah.
book. And that's the culture of the Themyscira. There's no men.
Well, yeah, it makes sense. If there's no men
Yeah,
and they're still going to fall in love, they're still going to want
yeah,
relationships and you
yeah,
know all the stuff that comes with that. They're still going to have that need. So it makes sense that they would
yeah,
all be having relationships with each other.
yeah,
But I just think it's interesting. It just kind of like I was sort of reading it. I'm like, oh wait a minute. I don't think
yeah,
I've ever heard that Diana's into ladies. That's just new to me.
yeah. So I had to go back and reread it because I thought it was Diana talking about another girl,
All right, okay.
and then I was like, oh wait, no, they're talking about her. So yeah, but no, again, that's cool that again Rucka's adding some things in there that have kind of been there, but not really.
I would really like them to play with this, like in the future.
Hmm.
Like I would really like that if she ends up in a female relationship with someone in the present
Yeah.
day down the line,
Hmm.
and show that she can have feelings for women as well. It's not like something she's just abandoned because she's now, oh look, men, oh dicks are great. I'm never going back. Like it's
Yeah.
not that.
Well,
It's
that's why I always felt it so weird with her and Superman. Like I get why they would be drawn to each other, but I mean, she grew up on this island where there's a whole different concept of a relationship. Like I can't just see her just settling down just for Superman. you know, and so hopefully this clears up that type of stuff. That would be cool. I mean, I loved when Simone was writing Secret Six. She had Scandal Savage and Knockout and their whole relationship play out over that run, and that was a lot of fun. And then when tragic stuff happens, and you see how it impacts one and the other. So, but yeah, I mean, Rucka's Wonder Woman, he's killing it. Nicola Scott's art
Yeah,
looks
that's
fantastic.
great. Yeah.
The layouts, I love it when they make it easy to read when you have like a double page spread, because sometimes you can't quite tell how to read if there's actually a split or not. So the way that they put the captions, so there's like a flow chart to read them. I
Yeah,
really appreciate that.
that's always the smart. That's one of the arts of like just comic book storytelling is like making it really. If you want them to go in a weird order that you wouldn't normally read, you do it with the
Yeah.
captions. You shuttle
Yeah.
readers round the page with those.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're doing quite well with that. Obviously, we get the first tease of the lasso.
Yeah, that was cool. And the whole her getting bit by the snake in the old tree.
And yeah, the old
That
tree was cool. Yeah, I like that.
but it bit her like on the hand that's missing on the statue. And that's why the lady takes her over there to be like, "Oh, this is a sign of big things." So I don't know if that was one of the gods choosing her. I don't know if that was a threat, from that something was happening. But it was it was a cool thing to play with. Clearly they believe in seers and prophecy. That's cool to see them bring that up.
Yeah. Yeah. And even just the simple idea that when everyone's meant to be looking up at the stars because they're doing astrology or whatever, and she's
Uh-huh.
instead looking out because she's curious about the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And it sets up that part of her character and that she is going to be naturally curious, so that when Steve does show up at the end and he crash lands, that she is one that might stick up for him. When a lot of the others will presumably be like, "Oh, we should just kill him and throw him in the water, get
Well,
rid of
and
him."
that was the thing that I got from these group of Amazons too, is that they're very peaceful to live away from man's world, but they don't hate man's world. Like when I forget her girl that she was talking with, her friend from the astronomy class. But as they're talking about what it meant for them to be Amazons and live on the island and why they left man's world, there wasn't that thing of hate like there's been in previous writers when it comes to it. There's like, it was a problem. We got away from it. We're gonna stay over here and let them. And there's a whole line about giving up paradise to go back and join that world, which is we call it Paradise Island.
Yeah,
Oh, but yeah, very good. That was the top book.
that was good.
I think so far since Rebirth, it's one of the ones I've liked the most out of
Um,
everything.
I thought the Rebirth issue was sketchy, but
Hmm.
1 and 2 have been solid.
Yeah,
Great even.
yeah.
So no, Wonder Woman was good. Oh wait, hon, what's that sound? Oh, it's Connor coming from the Speed Force. Uh, what was it said here? It wasn't anything we haven't seen before, but it was done excellently. Mainly thanks to Nicola Scott, who is far my favourite of the new Rebirth artists. Again, there's a word missing there. I read that as he wrote it. Once again, Connor offers nothing to the conversation.
And this is how I know we've already been doing this too long, is when we all kind of line up a little bit. We kind of know each other's, what we're gonna say.
Well,
Also,
that's
Connor was
good.
upset at this book a little bit because it took Black Magic, a book that he was really, really high on from Rucka and Scott, and it's postponed it until they're done with this arc. So to hear that he was, praising of this one means that he's come to terms with it finally.
Uh, hey, I mean, us generally being aligned will just make it all the more fun and shocking when one of us is like, "What the fuck are you
And
talking about, you idiot? You're wrong.
yeah,
This was terrible, or this was
yeah,
great, whatever."
yep.
So
That moment when one of us likes Red Hood and the Outlaws,
that,
and we can ban them.
that's not happening. That'll just create the great rift of that'll be the red sky. It'll be the crisis of the comics from the multiverse.
The craziest.